This week on the Analog Circle podcast, we get some alleged inside info on how much the PS6 may cost. More GTA 6 info has come out showing us why this game right here will set a new benchmark in gaming. Xbox is having their Summer Showcase this year, and it's not too far into the distant future. Oh, this show is gonna be amazing. Goodness, we're gonna talk about it. And Cyberpunk 2077 is coming to VR. But hold on, pump the brakes, because it's not coming in the sense that you may think. But all of these stories can be found here and more in episode 279 of the Analog Circle podcast. I am your host, Kiaun Mitchell, and welcome to the show. Come on in, sit down, and relax, because we're going to have a great conversation today. And if you're traveling, hopefully we can accompany you to your destination. Now, as always, if you want to be a part of listener feedback, which we'll be recording that episode on Sunday, you can do it two different ways. You can either call in at 667-284-9057 and let your voice be heard, or you can email the show. And the email address is simply theanalogcirclepodcast@gmail.com. So y'all know how we start the show off. Of course, it is with the question of the week, and this is a doozy, because the question is, are we being priced out of our hobby? A hobby that many people, if you're my age, 47 years old, going back to the Atari 2600, the Intellivision, the original Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, for some, the TurboGrafx 16, for some, the Sega Master System, and you can just take it up more and more and more into modern times. Is it a situation now where this hobby that we have loved so much, is it a situation that is on the horizon where we're being priced out? Now, I understand. Let's make a bit of a caveat here. I understand that the hardcore, people like myself, we're gonna, well, hold on. I don't know. You know what? Let's get into something real quick, because the hardcore like myself, at one moment in time, I would have said, well, we're going to be there. No matter what the situation is, no matter how much the cost of it is to get in, we're going to be there. But so do you mother lovers. Golly, these jokers got to be stopped. Here it is. I got this story from Polygon. So, we're just going to jump into it right now. So shout out to Mike J. I got to get his brother his credit, because he actually sent this to me when I was working. So, so shout out to him for bringing this story to my attention. Of course, we all have heard about it since then. But starting Friday, buddy, April 2nd is Friday, even April 2nd, because today is April 1st and today is Wednesday last time I checked. Yeah, so it's going to be Thursday, April 2nd, tomorrow. Oh, it is D-Day, because tomorrow, April 2nd, prices are about to change again for the PS5, and not for the better. Now, of course, I'm sure y'all already know these prices, but let's just go over them for context and for the conversation. So the base model PS5 will now sell for $650. Oh my gosh. Crack cocaine is real. Holy smoke. $650 is how much this console is going to cost. Now, the other thing I understand, Oh, man, it has to do with the tariffs and all of that stuff. Now, I understand that the digital PlayStation 5, all digital, is going to be $600. And then you come to the whole mountain of doggone cocaine here, and you got the PlayStation 5 Pro. This joker's going to be selling for a whopping $900. Oh, my gosh. $900. This joker is $900, man.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Man, you got to be kidding me. $900. Now, see, at this point in time, brothers and sisters, oh, shucks. I'm a C-Jack. Man, a Crimson. Man, brother, I might have to holler at y'all. At these prices, I doggone near may as well go to PC. Then again, I don't even know if I can afford PC. Their prices are going up as well. More. And just to add insult to injury, Sony got dog, man. These jokers raised the price of the Portal. That thing is going up to $250. $250 for a Portal. Oh my gosh. This is absolutely crazy. Now, I understand that, what's going on, with the global market. Matter of fact, speaking of the global market, Sony's vice president of global marketing for Sony Interactive had this to say about these price changes. She said, quote, "We know that price changes impact our community, and after careful evaluation, we found this was a necessary step to ensure we can continue delivering innovation, high-quality gaming experiences to players worldwide." That's the excuse that you came up with?
What did he say?
Man, you got to be kidding me. Listen, let's put this thing in perspective. I've been hearing people giving Sony a pass. Man, it's the tariffs, man. Come on, man. Gas is up to $100 a gallon. Bread costs $7 a loaf. Eggs up to $45 a carton. Listen, this is just how it goes. They got to pass on the charges to the customer. Why are y'all putting up with this? Why would anybody, it's that mentality that makes these companies believe that they can truly do this to us as consumers. People lay down and they take it. They lay down and just say, hey, it's nothing that we can do. The prices are going to go up. I guarantee you one thing. When these PlayStation 5 prices, not the prices, but when these PlayStation 5s stop selling at the clip that they once were, they'll get it together. It was a point in time. And it's so interesting to me that we live in this microwavable environment where at one point in time, and we've been seeing the changes throughout gaming, this console generation has been, not as far as games go, not gaming in general, in a sense, but the pricing this generation has been absolutely egregious, to say the least. It has been this has been madness. And here it is. People just sit there and say, oh, well, it's nothing that we can do about it. You know what's happening. It's the tariffs. They got to make sure that they can survive. When the heck did we start caring about these companies surviving? They ain't care. They don't care if you survive. Here it is. They raised the price of this thing. $150. This is 6-year-old hardware. 6 years old in November. 6 years. And they come out and say that they have to do this to, where's the quote? They have to do this, these price changes. They understand it's going to impact the community, but they found that this was a necessary step to ensure we can continue delivering innovation, high quality gaming experiences to players. Well, get the heck out of here. Get out of here. When does it become a situation where it is just greed? These jokers are making billions of dollars in profit. Billions. Now I understand. Listen, let me calm it down a little bit, because I don't want to lose sight of, what's going on here. I understand that as a business, you have to make money. You have to make money in order to survive. And I get that. And it costs money in order to do that. But when you are profiting, listen, I don't want to, let me look it up, because I don't want to misspeak on the profits that these companies have made. But this is insane. Let me see if I can find a stat here to see how much PlayStation might have profited. Let's see if I can find it really quickly. What was the last, how can I say it? What was the last financial, how much profit has Sony reported that the PlayStation 5 has made over the last quarter? I kind of messed that up a little bit, but I'll see if it'll actually figure it out.
Sony just released their Q3 FY2025 results, covering the holiday.
All right, hold on. Let me put this on Bluetooth. Hold on, y'all, so y'all can hear it. All right, here we go. Just bear with me just for a minute. All right, it's hooked up. All right, let's do it.
Through December 31st, 2025, on February 5th, 2026. It was a bit of a good news, bad news situation for PlayStation.
Okay.
Here is the breakdown of the profit and performance for the gaming segment. PlayStation, Game and Network Services, Financials. Operating profit. The gaming division reported a profit of 140.8 billion yen, approximately $2.6 billion. This was a 19% to 27% increase in profit year over year, depending on how you factor in currency fluctuations. Revenue. Despite the higher profit, overall sales for the gaming segment actually decreased by about 4% to 1.61 trillion yen, $10.2 billion. Hardware versus software. The reason profit went up while sales went down is due to a shift in what people were buying. PS5 hardware sales. This was the bad news. Sony shipped 8 million units during the holiday quarter, which was a 15.7% drop compared to the 9.5 million units they sold during the same period the previous year.
You know what? Well, we don't have to go through the whole thing, but listen. Here it is. Now, they already reported that they had a 15.7% drop-off just last year. What the world do you think is going to happen this year? What do you think is going to happen? They've already profited. I understand the $2.6 billion that they just profited. And I get it, I understand. Look, they earn that money. That's their money. Kudos to them for doing it. They've put out a great product. But when does it get to the point where you say, look, if we continue down this path, already dropping 15% is huge. And we're not even talking about these price points. Who's buying a Pro for $900? Realistically, who is going out there and buying a Pro? I'm going to tell you this. I don't think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to convert as many people from last generation to this generation. At those prices are massive leaps. And it's not like they're giving us more. They're not giving us more. I mean, well, listen, the PlayStation 5 Pro, you got the PSSR 2.0, you got that in there. Okay, you can make a bit of an argument for that, but $900 worth? You got to be kidding me. It was a point in time. And I'm not trying to do the back in my day kind of situation, but it's true. It was a point in time where these console manufacturers, they would actually eat the cost. Up front, they would eat the cost of, okay, the console, we're going to lose this much money on the console, but we'll make it up with subscriptions. We'll make it up with the sales of, controllers, or even for the Xbox 360, hard drives, the hard drive that they had, the custom one. They would find other ways to make up the cost. Games are going to sell, the whole nine. And in this environment, they have a better opportunity than ever to be able to supplement that with the different services that they offer. Matter of fact, they said the PSN is about to go up again. So everything is going up, but we're not getting anything extra. That's the point. We're not getting anything extra for all of these costs. And again, for people that say we just got to lay there and take it, heck no. We always have the most power. The consumer has the most power. I understand that these companies, they're made up of, certain things or certain thresholds that have to be met before they start to crumble and fall. And I'm not advocating for that to happen to Sony or any of these companies, because then what the world are we going to play? So I'm not advocating for that to happen. All I'm saying is I think that it has to get to the point where people just slowly back off and say, you have completely tapped me out. I can't do it. I can't go any further. And once they see that you're not going to go any further and that those numbers drop even harder at the end of December or the holiday season, then they will probably say, well, doggone, maybe, just maybe, we need to kind of slow this down, take a couple of steps back, and try to bring people in. Because, and I don't want to harp on this too long, into the show, because I definitely want to get you guys' opinion on this. But the thing is that I truly believe the reason why the PlayStation 5 hasn't sold more and isn't, I don't even think the 5 at these prices are going to even beat last generation, because the price is too doggone high. Us, the hardcore, I've been doing this for like 41 years. And even at these prices, if I didn't have a PlayStation 5 by now, man, I'm going to tell you, realistically, I don't know. I do not know. I just think it comes to a certain point where people just have to really just take a stand. And I'm not talking about revolution and all. Nah. Let's not get crazy. This is gaming at the end of the day. Let's not go bonkers out here. But all I'm saying is I think that it has to get to a point where, just in general, that people just say, well, that's just too far. You ain't got to get out here and rah-rah in the streets and all of that stuff, because it's only one thing that these companies understand. It's just one thing. And if they don't have that one thing, which is,
show me the money.
That's all it is. No! If you are not showing them the money, then they may say, oh, wait, hold on, wait a second. Hold on. Oh, so y'all ain't jacking that right now. Y'all ain't buying that. Oh, shucks. I might have to course correct. So as long as people actually go out there and say, nah, I'm not giving you $650 for 6-year-old hardware. That's what has to sink in. This thing is 6 years old. In technology years, this thing is actually outdated. Technically, 6 years. In the technology field, come on, man. The technology was already, getting up there in age when it first released. But come on, man, 6 years? Nah, it just gets to a point where you just got to say enough is enough. Man, I do not approve. And who the heck am I? I'm nobody. But I, as a PlayStation fan, I do not approve of this. I understand people are like, man, listen, man, if you trade in your PlayStation 5 for a PlayStation 6, man, you about to be lit, man. Oh, my goodness. You get ready to get some amazing trading value. Man, this stuff is better than the stock market, being honest with you. God, dog. Man, you probably could realistically trade in your PlayStation 5 at $650 being the regular price. Man, you might be able to get $280, possibly $300 for that joint when you trade it in. How crazy is that? And if you got a Pro, oh man, forget it. You might be able to get 4 to 5. That's crazy to me. I tell you, what, this whole situation, I feel like we're going to go a little long today. So, it's probably going to be a little bit more than an hour. But I feel like this situation with the PlayStation 5 almost reminds me of the housing market. Back in 2020, maybe 2021, somewhere around there, prices were going high as a kite. They still high, but the percentage, the percentage rate of, the interest rates were low. 3.0% interest rate, 3.25. Those interest rates were, unimaginable. So people are out there buying up houses. A house hits the market, it's gone the same day. They got 12 offers on one, people offering people trips, to get the bid on the house. It was madness. I was out there. So I saw it firsthand. I was there. And then you had another set of people that actually sat on the sideline and said, man, this thing gonna crash any day now. This stuff is ridiculous. These prices are too high. I'm going to just sit on the sideline and I'm just going to wait it out. In about 2 or 3 years, all of this madness is going to be over with. I'll be able to pretty much come in, swoop in, get a house for half of the price that y'all paid for it. And at the end of the day, I'm going to look like the genius and you're going to look like the desperate homeowner. And here we are 5 to 6 years later. And the houses have not gone down, but they continue to raise in price. God, dog. 5+ years later, houses are continuing to go up in price and the interest rates are high. So at the end of the day, it's pretty much like the PlayStation 5. Of course, on a way smaller scale, because this is gaming at the end of the day. This is not a life or death situation with the PlayStation or just gaming in general. It's a hobby at the end of the day. But everybody needs somewhere to stay. Everybody needs shelter. But here it is. People probably sat on the sideline and said, I will wait for Grand Theft Auto 6, or I'm good where I'm at. These prices are going to drop eventually because they always do. And they raised. The prices went the heck up drastically. Do you understand? And I'm sure you do. But do you guys realize, and I realized why I didn't want to get the Pro. After I saw that $900 price tag, I was like, oh, I'm doggone sure not getting one. But I remembered it doesn't come with a disk drive. It doesn't come with a disk drive. So you're talking about now, how much is the disk drive for the PlayStation 5 Pro? How much is the disk drive add-on for the PlayStation 5 Pro? Because I can't quite remember these numbers. Okay, it's not
the
that
official
high.
MSRP for the Sony PS5 disc drive is $79.99. It is the same add-on used for both the PlayStation 5 Slim and the PlayStation 5 Pro. However, because the PS5 Pro does not include a disc drive in the box, demand has been very high. While you can find it for the standard $79.99 AT retailers like PlayStation Direct, Best Buy, and GameStop when in stock, Third Menace Party sellers ON sites like eBay or Walmart are currently listing them for between $115.00 and $140.
God. Wait a minute. They said Walmart? They said sellers on sites like eBay or Walmart are currently listing them for between. Dag, Walmart, how you upping your price? Man, so here it is. Listen, man, at the end of the day, you're talking about, if you want the disc drive, you're talking about over $1,000, over $1,000. I understand the PC right now, they're going up in price too, so that's not technically PC prices in this climate, but normally that's PC prices that you're paying for a console. I would definitely have to have a conversation with myself and say, golly, is it, man, again? No, I'm trapped. I ain't going to have nowhere to go. I got nowhere to go. Because, man, it's too expensive to move to PC, and it's too expensive to try to stay on console at these prices. But I don't know. Listen, I've gotten very, very long-winded with this this question of the week, but it's just a lot to unpack. Are we really being priced out of our hobby? Some people may say no, because you can always go to cloud. You can always go to your mobile phone, but come on, man, that's not, well, for me, that's just not an option. Cloud might be. Maybe, you know what, Xbox, Microsoft, man, these jokers might have always been ahead of the curve, because that is a big possibility. Somebody goes out there and gets a Bluetooth controller. They can access Game Pass for $35 a month and have that. Man, who's this calling me? My bad, y'all. I had to take that phone call. But anyway, listen, that was probably a good alarm to have to move on from this doggone topic. But again, that is the question of the week. Are we being priced out of our hobby? I would love to get you guys feedback and opinions on this. Would you go out and buy a PlayStation 5 for $650, $600, and $900? That is wild work. Let's go ahead, though, guys, and let's get into, you know what? I started this new thing where I got the stories, but I don't write them down, but I like to go over them. So we actually got this news. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. I got a couple of things here. Yeah, listen to this. So this is a story that Insider Gaming actually was reporting on. So we had already heard, and shout out to Crimson Phoenix, he had actually dropped a line in listener feedback talking about a possible change that could be coming to Game Pass. And he was talking about Netflix. But it's this new report from Insider Gaming that Xbox is announcing Game Pass Flex, which is replacing loading screens with ads. So this means that as you play one of the games under the Game Pass Flex banner, you'll be regularly subjected to unskippable, unavoidable ads. But the thing is, the service is totally free. So again, if Game Pass is too much for you and you still want to be a part of it, you can go with this Game Pass Flex, which it's free. Now, they said that, okay, so today, Xbox announced, which this was yesterday, I believe, but Xbox announced the instant arrival of this free tier, which is supported by an innovative ad-based system. So when you play a game via Game Pass Flex, you'll be presented with full screen ads. And I said this, every time there's a loading screen. Now I'm trying to find the quote here. Let's see. In a statement, Xbox's VP of strategic, honestly, not really, their name is Not Really, said, and I quote, "At Xbox, we're committed to delivering what we call transparent value alignment. With our new Game Pass Flex tier, we're giving players more choice than ever, allowing them to enjoy wonderful gaming experiences fused with contextually enriching advertisements. Some might call them interruptions, but we prefer to think of them as immersive micro moments." Yo, these marketing teams is ridiculous. Immersive micro moments that boost engagement and retention. Let me see. Todd Howard. This is nothing. Okay, Todd actually talked about it. Insider Gaming talked to him, reached out to him, and he said, "This is nothing but great news for gamers worldwide. With Game Pass Flex, we can leverage our patented loading screens, which you'll see across every game we have ever made, to promote all kinds of products and services. This is why we still have such extensive loading screens across our gaming estate. We could have seamless transitions between interiors and exteriors, but now we can use that pause to inject an ad into your experience, keeping you guessing about what might come and what might come next." Man. Who the heck is excited about commercials, Todd? And saying, man, I can't wait to see what they come up with next for the next ad. This is exciting. Man, get the heck out of here, man. What are we doing and talking about? Man, listen, this is the thing, though. I mean, I will say, listen, this is a bitter, sweet pill. Because on the one hand, y'all remember, we had talked about this, I think, last week. We heard that this could be a possibility that they were gonna actually make available in other countries, where they would have them look at ads and then be able to play the games. Now, the question was, I think we all had the question of, well, where the world are they going to put the ad? Is it going to be in-game advertisement like you would see in NBA 2K? Are they going to have something flash over the screen while you're playing the game? Get Old Spice deodorant or something like that. There could be a big interruption into your gaming session. How are they going to make this work? I will say, a loading screen and putting an ad inside of that loading screen, man, listen, I think to a certain degree, I'm gonna be honest, man, I think that's kind of dope, man. I think it's kind of dope, and I know you might be saying, whoa, wait a minute, no. I think that is dope because, look, it's almost no different than YouTube. It pretty much is YouTube to a certain degree. If you want to be on the free tier, you got to watch ads. I know I doggone sure I'm on the free tier of YouTube, so I know how it goes. It's like, look, I signed up for this. I'm not paying the monthly bill for YouTube. So I'm going to have to sit here and take these ads, or I can pay the money per month to get rid of these ads. Now, what would be messed up is if you're paying for the service and they still give you ads. Now, that's a messed up situation. Because I would say at that point in time, you may as well just go in the free tier and just let the commercials fly. At least you're saving money. But I think this is actually kind of innovative, where at least it doesn't mess with your actual gaming experience. They're doing it in between loading screens. Now, it is interesting. What's interesting about this, though, is loading screens are getting shorter. So I don't know how this is going to move forward. But for now, I think that that's a nice buffer in between, you know, as far as keeping you on the free tier and actually making sure that they can still make money off of you. Because at the end of the day, I get it. They got to make money. It's just, I think it's a right way and it's a wrong way. And it's free at the end of the day. So the other thing that I do want to add is Game Pass Flex actually launches today, April 1st. But it's available exclusively for users who have never subscribed to Game Pass before. That means I could be in the door. I could be a shoe. Oh, man, they see how they do, you know. You see how they do, you know, man. The people that are already in the door, they ain't worried about y'all right now. Look, we got y'all. Y'all are going to help supplement this with y'all subscription. And the people that are coming in the door that have never had Game Pass, it's all good, man. We're going to look out for you. We're going to make sure that you're taken care of because we want you to stick around.
What you talking about, Willis?
Oh, man. It's terrible. It is so terrible. It's no different than taxpayers, man. We get the short end of the stick. Other people get to live a pretty, I'm not going to say it's a free life, you know, but what's expected of them isn't nearly as much as expected of the taxpayer. We supplementing some of these people's lifestyles and whatnot. It's just crazy, man, but it's definitely gonna be interesting. Man, if I had a Series X, man, I might would try this. I ain't even gonna lie. I would just want to know what the world does it look like, because I've never been a Game Pass subscriber. And they said that means you can't cancel your paid subscription to accept the ad-supported tier either. God dang. Joker said you can't quit your way out of this. You in this for life. Daggone. Joker want to try to get out the gate, man. I'm getting out of this, man. I can get Game Pass for free for looking at doggone commercials, man. Sign me up. Oh, no, buddy. Skirt, pump the brakes on that one. Nah, buddy. This deal right here, hold on, buddy. This ain't for you. This ain't for you, brother. Nah, you're going to drive up the road, friend. This ain't for you. You already got committed. You've been in this relationship. You are committed now. And you got to stay around and keep on paying. Oh, man. Let me ask y'all. This is crazy. Dude, so do you think, do you think that this is going to take off? Do you think this is promising? I got to tell you. One more thing about this too, man. This is definitely April Fool's got done. This is an April Fool's joke, man. Come on, it's April 1st. It's April 1st. Did you really think that Xbox, that Microsoft would just let you off that easy? Come on, man. Oh, man, I need to stop playing. I know. I wasted 20 minutes of your time. I know, man. But I gotta say, I just had to get one off. Just one. Oh, man. You know what? Let me move on, man. I know I played too doggone much. I know and I understand. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move on. Oh, man. All right, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and get into the show for real. I'm going to get into the show. Let's get into what we all come here for. And that is the real gaming news. That went down. Oh, I'm losing my voice, man. Shucks. All right, man. Oh, man. We had fun. Well, I'm going to say I had fun. Now I got to come back down to reality. Let's get into this real gaming news, man. So, this first official story I got from VGC. So, let's get into some rumors. Look at all these rumors surrounding me every day. Oh, man. Nintendo. Let me take a second to get myself together. Oh, man. Did I have y'all going with that one a little bit? Did I have y'all going just a taste? Just a tick? Oh, man. All right, let's get into it, man. Come on, man. This info comes from reliable insider Nate the Hate. Now, we know this brother Nate, he got a pretty doggone good track record. I mean, a really good track record. So, during his podcast, he said that, quote, Star Fox is coming back in summer 2026. We're getting a new Star Fox game in the very near future. I've been told it's a classic style Star Fox game. The visuals are supposed to be very good, and I've heard it does have online multiplayer. End of quote. Now, I think that, man, summer of this year, very interesting because I believe the Mario movie just released. I think today. I think it did. And is that a spoiler? I don't know. Anyway, I won't go into that, but it seems like it would be dope to see Star Fox at any given time, but I think that the timing will line up pretty well for what they're trying to do. I did hear some of the reviews of the Mario movie. They said it's a lot of dope references in it, but the story was just a little iffy. Kind of, just iffy all across the board. So some people enjoyed it, some people didn't. It's kind of split right now. But definitely go out there and support it. Check it out if that's something that you're into. But jumping off of Star Fox for a minute, it was also said that no new 3D Mario game will release this year, but it's being claimed that a Ocarina of Time remake will soon release to coincide with Zelda's 40th anniversary. So the thing that I heard about that part of it, as far as Zelda goes, I heard that they may be, I actually got this story from WCCF Tech where they were saying that it may be a limited edition Switch 2 console that comes out during that time. But at this moment in time, it's not known whether or not Ocarina of Time will be included with the Switch 2 or not. I think that if Nintendo is smart and they want to capitalize off of it as much as possible, they would definitely have it as a pack-in inside of a Switch 2 that is themed, that is an Ocarina of Time themed console. That would be absolutely amazing. Of course, nobody knows when that, well, they say that that game is supposed to come out sometime later in the year, maybe sometime in December, somewhere around there, somewhere in the later part of the year that remake is supposed to come out. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be excited about that one. I never played Ocarina of Time. It wasn't.
Move this man!
God, Doug, y'all know my history with Zelda up until, what was it, the Switch version? I got to say, I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away at the Switch version of Zelda. That thing was remarkable. You know, but up until that point, I was like, man, Joker blowing on a harmonica. I don't know about this right here. Come on, man. But everybody seems to really enjoy Ocarina of Time. And I think that for those people that are fans of this particular game, having them actually doing a remake of it with the Nintendo Switch 2, which does graphically, I got to say that, man, that graphics be kind of graphicing lately. I mean, it looks like a really good console. So if they're really giving it that real remake treatment, man, I don't know. Listen, if it looks good enough, y'all know me, man. I love the graphics, brother. You know, gameplay is definitely first, because if I can't enjoy the game, graphics don't mean a doggone thing. But those graphics, though, oh, man, if you got that on point, you got my attention. You know, so we'll see what happens with this. Of course, having Star Fox come out later on this year, over the summer, I would be very, very interested to see what that's about. I haven't played a Star Fox game since the N64. That was the last outing I had, and I told y'all about that. I thought it was phenomenal. Having that rumble pack inside of the controller, I said, oh, yeah, I got to have this. I need this for Christmas ASAP. And shout out to my grandmother for actually getting it for me. I was so excited. I went out. The thing was, though, see, they didn't tell me. I didn't know until after the fact that the rumble pack was sold separately. Yeah, and the Nintendo licensed version of the rumble pack, that joker was a little expensive at the time for me. So I ended up getting a knockoff. I got a knockoff rumble pack doggone accessory, and I'm gonna tell you though, that joker worked. It worked. Now granted, I don't know if it was as good as the official Nintendo joint, but I got the rumble. It was rumbling up in that joint. That's all I cared about. It was incredible. So I would love to see what they do with Star Fox. I know Star Fox hasn't been in the spotlight in quite some time. When's the last time Star Fox was even seen, man? Back in what, 2017 or 18? When was the last time we got a Star Fox game? Because I can't even remember.
It has actually been quite a while for Fox McCloud. Depending on how you define a new game, the answer is either 2016 or 2017.
That's all we need to know. Sheesh. Oh, yeah. I'm looking. That's right. I got the, for anybody else that has the Super Nintendo Classic Mini, they did put Star Fox 2 in there. I'm looking at it right now. Oh, shucks. I never played it, though. I never opened up the... I never opened up the menu at all.
Move this man!
I never even opened it. It has never been, the seal has never been broken. The original Nintendo Mini, that's never been broken. What are those? The Game & Watch, the Zelda one, and the Mario one, I've never opened those. Oh, shucks. I just kind of wanted them just for nostalgia purposes. I didn't really plan on ever opening them, but I would be interested to know what that Star Fox 2 was actually hitting for. I think it was supposed to have been released and it got canceled or something like that. But anyway, we're talking about, it's been almost, 10 years since we've had an actual Star Fox game released. So I would be very, very interested in seeing how Nintendo actually plays into that and, what we actually get in the long run. But we'll see that in the Ocarina of Time. Very, very possible good times coming up for Nintendo. Let's go ahead, though, guys, and let's get into the next story. So, man, we just went over, Sony raising their prices of the PlayStation 5 and the Pro. But we have also heard that next gen will be releasing next year. Oh, man. I don't know about that. But with that being said, someone named Kaiser Stark, he asked Insider, well, he's actually a tech insider, Kepler L2, quote, this was his question: if there isn't a RAM/NAND price collapse, do you have a guess of how much the PS6 will cost in 2027? Before, I was thinking $699, but I don't even know if that's possible without Sony losing too much money on each console, end of quote. So that's what I'm saying. We shouldn't be worried about them losing money. I mean, they got to figure that out. Of course, we want these companies to be around. Nobody wants to see them go out of business that enjoys the brand. But that's not a doggone thing we should be worried about. If they want to sell the product, then they have to come up with the pricing. But they have to come up with the pricing where a lot of people can buy it. Because you don't want to price yourself out of the market, because then you still collapse. So, stop worrying about these companies' money, especially if you don't work for them. But Kepler L2 responded by saying, my current BOM estimate for PS6 is $760. So I would say $699 is still possible with a reasonable subsidy. The question is if Sony will ever bother now that Xbox is not direct competition anymore. This brother said $699.
Shut up! Did I say? Say it again. Say something else. Oh! Say something else. Say something else.
Are you kidding? $700? Yeah. We in a world where doggone the PlayStation 5 Pro costs $900. Do you really think that they are going to roll back the dollar clock to $700 for newer hardware? Man, listen, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Mr. Kepler L2, but I find that very, very hard to believe. Matter of fact, I should have read this earlier now that I'm thinking about it. It's an article, and again, a lot of this stuff I didn't write down, but it's an article from Push Square that says $1,000 consoles could become the norm. PS6's price touted to touch four figures. And this is, let me see, it says Dr. Sirkin Tobo believes there's a very real possibility we could be looking at a next-gen console in the $999.99 range. And hold on, we already know With one of these consoles are going to cost bare minimum the next Xbox. They're already saying it's going to be $1,000. $1,000, man. Gosh. Brother. Whoo. Man, I'm sweating. I mean, I'm doggone sweating. $1,000. It would be a dream. If these, isn't that crazy though? That it would be a dream for a console to be $700. This is how they get us. This is how they doggone get us. I'm telling you, it's going to come a point in time when PlayStation is going to put the PlayStation 5 on sale. And the sale is going to be $500. That's going to be the sale price. The same price that it actually came out at. And people are going to say, man, that's a good doggone deal. They didn't drop the price. No, they ain't dropped the price. They just put it back down to where it was originally at. This is absolute, man. Oh, man. Listen, if consoles cost $1,000 in next generation, I don't know, man. I might be on the PlayStation 5 forever. I don't know. It would have to take something so incredibly amazing. It would be the exact same thing that I was telling C-Jack and I was telling Crimson for the PC. You would have to show me a game that is so unbelievable, so phenomenal, even for me to remotely think about paying $1,000 for a console. At that point in time, I can tell y'all, this old brother right here that's 47 years old, I would have to tap out. I would have to tap out. I would be getting all of the games that I missed on PS5. I'd be getting some games I missed on PS4. Shucks, man, who knows? I might even go back and hook up my 360 and finish a couple of games I didn't finish on there. It would definitely, I can't see myself doing it. Like I tell y'all all the time, everybody has a threshold. Everybody has a threshold. And $1,000, that just ain't going to do it. Kepler L2, I want to believe that this is going to be $700. I would love for it to be $700. I mean, listen. Prices are gonna go up. Whew. Anything over 700. Man, I don't even want to pay 700. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even want to pay 7. But if you give me something that's amazing, The Last of Us Part 3, oh man, shucks, I might start twitching. Last of Us Part 3 is coming out. Man, I don't know. You know, that's a bit of a weakness. Days Gone 2, we know that's probably not going to happen. But if that was to be something that Sony had coming out, man, I'm going to have a couple beads of sweat coming off of my doggone forehead because I'm going to have a real conversation with myself. You know, do you really want to get this or not? Good grief. I tell you, I just don't like where we're going, man. I just don't think it's going to end up well. I don't think so. I think that this could really have some huge negative effects on the gaming industry as a whole. We understand that us, the hardcore, we do make up a small piece of this puzzle. It is the casuals that really, really do really help support this hobby. I understand they're not going to buy the same amount of games as you and I. They're not going to go too far out of their wheelhouse, but we doggone need them. And if these consoles are at a price point where it's too high for them to afford, man, the gaming industry could, it's in a bad state right now. But imagine if the casuals leave in mass. We're going to be in some serious trouble. The gaming industry as a whole, and at these prices, that is exactly what's going to end up happening if they don't get this stuff together. My gosh. But anyway, guys, we'll see what happens with this whole Sony thing. Microsoft is already, and I know that the price point, Microsoft didn't say the exact price point, but you kind of know what to expect. The thing about Microsoft is they will, man, these jokers may talk a little bit too much at times, but you gotta kind of respect what they do with what they say, so they've already prepped us. We kind of know that this is going to be a very expensive console. So people have it in their mind, okay, this is going to be what it is if I want to get this console. But here it is, PlayStation. That's showing us too. $900 for the Pro. I don't know, man. I have a little bit of fear about what the future may hold for gaming. And again, this is a hobby. It's a hobby that I love. It's my favorite hobby. So of course I'm gonna be worried about it. I understand it's not life or death. It's not anything that could truly, at the core of it, really affect my life. But as a gamer and a person that loves this gaming culture, I don't want to see anything happen to it. But I just feel like these moves and these price points that are being made, I just don't know how this is going to affect the industry in the long run. So we'll definitely see what happens. I want to keep a positive attitude about it, but man, these some troublesome days going on right now in the gaming industry. People getting laid off that have successful games, and they still getting laid off. Good gosh. Man, we got to move on, man. I'm over an hour into this doggone episode, and I ain't even halfway done. But let's get into the next story that I actually got from Screen Rant. So, y'all know any news on GTA 6 is always welcome. And this time we got a leak from Reddit about how detailed, this was so interesting to hear, but how detailed the NPCs are. So according to reports, NPC characters will allegedly come loaded with an, quote, absurd amount, end of quote, of dialogue. Now, the NPCs will have full conversations in the background, and dialogue choices for gamers will be varied in one-on-one discussions. Now, the leaker says, and I quote, "I don't think people understand how insane the NPC dialogue system is in this game. Everyone assumes it's like GTA 5, where you have a pool of lines and they just shuffle. It's not that anymore. It's structured, like labeled and categorized at a level I've never seen," end of quote. Now, it's being said, and this is another quote, Hundreds of thousands of recorded lines, end of quote, have been made for the characters. Now, the insider describes the NPCs as, quote, not story, not main characters, just people walking around, reacting, talking, calling out. It's not just more lines, it's conditional lines, end of quote. So as I was reading this, I was trying to get an understanding of what all of this meant. And the conditional lines, that's where it gets bananas, because the examples that were used, and this has to do with them actually interacting with you, the one-on-ones. Of course, you're having a conversation with them. It's going to be different. But they said that the crowd, they're going to be, having regular conversations with each other. But let's say you come into the frame or you drive by in a car and you slow down and you stop in front of them. And let's say you just did a crime, maybe, a couple of minutes ago or an hour ago, and you made it onto the news. People will actually respond, point at you and say, hey, isn't that the guy that was just on the news for doing a bank robbery? That's him right there. Call the cops. That's what they're saying these NPCs are going to be able to do. If you're out there, you're shooting people, doing stuff that's horrible, people are going to call. They're going to have a description of you calling the police, telling them you need to get down here right now. It's a guy with black shorts on, a white tank top, and he's out here just doing stuff to people, saying help. It's all about what you do inside of the environment. It's all about your choices on what you do that are going to make the NPCs actually respond the way that they do. If somebody sees somebody, carjacking somebody, hey, you can't do that. What are you doing? No, man, somebody get some help. Call the police. Stop them. I mean, they're making it sound like it is going to be so many different lines of dialogue, so many interactions as far as like the crowd goes. If a house is on fire, I mean, they just gave so many different examples of what these NPCs will be capable of doing and responding to. This game right here, man, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again because I got to stick to my guns. I don't know if it's going to reach the levels that we're hoping it will, but right now, I got to say it sounds so doggone good. And every time I hear these reports, I get more and more excited about it, and I'm hoping that it actually keeps to the standard, but I just don't know. Of course, this summer, I'm sure we're going to get more because that's what Rockstar said. They're going to start their campaign over the summer, and we'll get more information. But, we'll see. We definitely will see. November is getting closer and closer. This is April 1st today. I know y'all know it's April 1st after the intro of the show. But we will definitely see what happens with GTA 6. I'm looking forward to it. Very, very excited about it. And, we'll just leave it there, and we'll keep our eyes and ears open to any more news that's coming down the pipe for this game. Let's go ahead, guys, and let's move on in to the next story. So I got this story from Windows Central, and I got to tell you, it is official. South of Midnight is now officially on the PlayStation 5, and I will say, man, I got a shout out to the good brother Glovebox, who was out there streaming it yesterday. I got to be honest with you, man, and he had it on the PS5. It looked pretty doggone nice. Shout out to Compulsion. Now, I will say this about Compulsion. It looks like that's not the only good news that they got going on. Of course, they have a little bit more here. So it is official. It's officially happening. They're moving on from, of course, South of Midnight, and they are now hiring for their next project, which will be a new, I say, quote, new IP, and is described as, quote, intriguing, end of quote. Now, they're hiring for the following positions according to LinkedIn. So if any of you guys have this skill set and you want to go over there and work with Compulsion on the next game that they got coming out, these are the requirements. So this is a permanent full-time roles is what they're hiring for. They're hiring for lead gameplay programmer, engine programmer. They are also hiring individuals on a 12-month fixed term contract for the following positions. You got gameplay programmer, FTC times 2. You got a senior level designer and a senior character artist. Now, the person you want to get in contact with if you want to try and pursue one of these positions is Mr. Joe Palin, P-A-L-I-N. You can find him on LinkedIn, where he is actually encouraging candidates to drop him a DM. And he also said you can send him emails as well. So I will say this again. I'm glad to see that Compulsion is moving on to a brand new IP. Compulsion is one of those smaller scale studios. I would say that they are almost in the same boat as the Tim Schafer studio. What is it? Double Fine? Double Fine and Compulsion kind of seem like they go hand in hand as far as what their level of game is going to be that they're actually trying to make. I always find them kind of making like AA type of titles, AA experiences. And again, South of Midnight look good. It definitely looks promising. It really reminds me of Kena Bridge of Spirits, which we know that the sequel is coming out sometime this year. Oh, it's gonna be so remarkable. If it's anything like the previous game, it's gonna be excellent. But as far as what Compulsion could be working on next, and it being a new IP, I am very, very interested in knowing what it's going to be. Now, what I will say and what I will hope is not the case is that they don't take as long as they did with South of Midnight. South of Midnight seemed like that took 10 years for them to get this joke out. I think Microsoft had acquired them back in 2018 or 2019, somewhere around there. I don't have my phone on me, so I can't look it up. But it took them all the way up until last year to come out with a game. That's a long doggone time. What, 7 years? 7 whole years. That's far too long. I know that people are saying that these cycles, they are getting longer, the development cycles. But this was more of a AA time. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to shortchange it like that. It was a beautiful looking game. It was very, very nice looking. But it just didn't, and I'm not trying to be disingenuous when I say this. It just seemed like I would have thought that a game of that magnitude might not have took as long as it did. Has beautiful cutscenes, has excellent backgrounds and, beautiful stages, great creatures, that are the things that you got to fight against. It looked good, but I just didn't know, man, 7 years for that? Possibly 7. Like I said, I'm thinking they acquired them back in 2018. I just can't quite get the year 100% correct. So that is up for debate. But hopefully, again, things are in a much better position. Hopefully they have their footing and they'll be able to put out a product a whole lot faster next time. 4 to 5 years is what I'm hoping they'll be able to do. Because you look at somebody like Sucker Punch, those guys, they were able to get Ghost of Yote out in a relatively decent amount of time. Now, I will say, Naughty Dog, y'all jokers right there. Whoo, y'all are taking a long time to come out with anything brand new. So, of course, man, matter of fact, speaking of them, Neil Druckmann, he did come out and say that The Last of Us Part 3 is being worked on. Shout out to AB. He was telling me a couple of things that were said. I didn't actually read this information, but he said that Neil Druckmann said that they are continuing to work on The Last of Us Part 3's story, and it is in production. I mean, I think we kind of all knew that was the case, but it was nice to hear. But Neil Druckmann, man, even this brother is kind of slightly on my man, a bit of my iffy list, as it were. You know, I mean, just waiting so long for these games, and I understand the shift inside of not Microsoft, but PlayStation. But man, this has been a very, very long time. We haven't seen real gameplay or anything. No real updates on what's going on. Man, I just truly hope we don't have to deal with this for another generation. But anyway, Compulsion Games, definitely looking forward to seeing what you come out with next. Will I be there day one? I'd be lying if I said I am. It truly depends on what the game is and how soon it's going to come over to PlayStation. Because as it stands right now, I don't have a reason to go out and get an Xbox. Because your games are coming over to PlayStation. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And I would love for Xbox's games to be exclusive. I would love it. I prefer it. But if you're going to give me your games on the platform that I'm on, and it's a game that I want to play, I got to take it. I got to take you up on your offer. So that's where we are right now. But let's go ahead, though. Oh, man, speaking of that, I would highly recommend y'all go into your PlayStation 5, if you have it, and look up that spring sale that they had. They got a lot of good stuff in there for a great price. I'm going to have to pick up Senua's Saga. I'm going to have to get it. It's $25. I think I'm going to pick up Doom Eternal. That's like $25. They had a couple of other games. I was like, what? RoboCop, I think, was like $18 or $20. I'm like, yeah, dog. It's a really, really good sale. I can almost guarantee you will find a game in there that you've wanted to play, and it will be on sale, and you'll be able to get it for a very, very good price. So definitely check that out. But let's go ahead, though, guys, and let's get into, oh, man, I would say this news right here. This news right here, man, I would say this was probably some of the biggest news of the week, man. So I got this story from Xbox Wire. So the announcement, it has been made. The announcement has been made that Xbox will be having their Summer Showcase on June 7th. June 7th, it is happening, my brothers and sisters. Man, the thing that made me have to drop a bomb on this one is that not only are they going to have that Summer Showcase. It's going to be happening at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But the bigger excitement for me is that they'll be doing a deep dive into Gears of War E-Day. Gears of War E-Day, oh, man. Oh, my goodness gracious. Y'all know, y'all might not know. Some of y'all might know. I am such a big Gears of War fan. And I will say, as much as I feel like this is coming to PlayStation, I would prefer, and we know that we already got the original Gears of War, the reloaded version. Oh, and matter of fact, that's on sale too. Then I noticed something about PlayStation. Real quick, man, because because it does have to do with Xbox. They didn't discount Xbox games nearly as much as they did other games outside of Senua's Saga. That one was pretty low, but the direct games from Xbox, man, those jokers still kind of high, man. So I don't know if they trying to deter people from buying them or what. I mean, I doubt it, but I just found it very, very interesting that they didn't give them the big cut, the big price cut like they did others. And of course, I'm sure that this comes down to the publisher and, you know, them actually telling Sony, okay, we'll take this much off of the top. So, I mean, maybe I'm probably really, really reaching with that one. But I did find it interesting. But nonetheless, I am so, man, brothers and sisters, I am looking forward to this one. I can't wait. And I would love, as the show is going on, I'm not talking about the showcase, but the Gears of War E-Day deep dive, it would do my heart absolutely phenomenal if at the end of all of the gameplay, all of the deep dives, character introductions, the developers, at the end of it all, one of the developers stands up there and says, and Gears of War E-Day is exclusive to Xbox consoles and PC. Because we know PC, they're not going to get away from PC, at least not now. But if they said that it is a console exclusive, oh, man, it's going to be a lot of hurt people out here. It's going to be a lot of people crying. How y'all going to do this to us? You're going to do this to me? Yeah, you're doggone right. Jokers is looking forward to this Gears of War E-Day being on PlayStation 5. But if they get up there on that stage and say that this is just for Xbox consoles, brother. Gonna be some hurt feelings, god dog it. Oh, it's gonna be some hurt feelings. That's what I'm looking forward to. I don't believe that they will do it, but my goodness, y'all know me, anything to bring better competition into the console space, I am all for it. I am an advocate for it being competition. And them actually saying you don't get Gears of War E-Day. If you want this game, then you got to get it on Xbox. Man, that would be, you want to talk about igniting a fan base. When you get up there and you say that, man, that shot's all over the place. They don't care. They would not care. They said, look, we are looking out for our console base. Darn y'all over on PlayStation. I would love it. Some people believe, and the thing is, man, Xbox, my gosh, fool. When you do this show, because I don't know who listens to the show per se, outside of the brothers' names that I know, but if anybody from Xbox is listening to this show right now, please, for the love of your console and the love of your fan base, do not announce at that show that this game is coming to PlayStation. You don't have to say it's exclusive. You don't have to say any of that stuff. Just leave it in the air. Just leave it lingering. Let your fan base walk away from the show happy about what they saw. Now, granted, a couple days later, you might just say, well, yeah, it's coming to PlayStation as well. But don't do it at your show, guy dog. Don't do it there. Do it in a small print to say, oh, yeah, it's coming to all platforms. But don't mess up the momentum of your show by announcing that it's coming to PlayStation. We're all pretty convinced Xbox fans that are being realistic already know that it's a 90% chance, if not 99% chance, that this game is coming to PlayStation. But again, just don't say anything at your doggone showcase. Just let them walk away and feel like it was a W, because it will be a W. But I think that it will take away some of the punch of your show if you say it's also available on PlayStation 5 day and date. Man, you want to talk about people being highly upset? Man, it just... it would bring down the whole feeling. Morale would be like, God dang. Did they really have to say that right now? So all I'm saying is get through the show, have a great show. It's a lot of things that we can look forward to. Me, as not having an Xbox, I'm always looking forward to Microsoft having a great show. We got probably more Fable coming, possibly seeing Blade. Man, because Blade has been that thing has been in the works for quite some time. Maybe we get to see some Blade this year. How crazy would that be? Then again, we know the Gears is going to be there. Forza 6. Man, I saw something that Destin put up. I don't know when Forza releases. Forza might release before the show. I can't quite remember, but I will say, God dog, that footage that Destin Legary had up of Forza 6, man, listen, I'm not even into cars. Cars, racers, and all of that stuff, really not my thing. But I would be lying to y'all if I didn't think that game looked absolutely gorgeous. That thing looked nice. But yeah, so much to look forward to, guys. I mean, it's even though right now gaming is in a very, very rough patch, it's a lot of unknowns out there right now. A lot of things are up to chance and a ton of question marks. But the one thing that we have right now this year are a ton of games to look forward to. Soros is coming out this month. Wolverine is coming out at the end of the year. Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out at the end of the year. You got Directive. I'm speaking for myself a little bit here, but Directive, I think it's 8020 is releasing. We've already had Resident Evil 9 come out. Omnimusha was supposed to be coming out this year. Pragmata is on the way. I mean, we got so many awesome games to look forward to. Possibly, of course, it's still rumors. Nothing has been confirmed, but possibly Star Fox, a new Star Fox coming out in the summer, and having Ocarina of Time being remade, a complete remake. It is a heck of a good year so far. I mean, a fantastic year, if you ask me. And I know I'm missing a ton of other games that are coming out later on this year. So I'm just very, very excited for this news. This gets me excited. We'll definitely be there on that Sunday, recording it live as it's going on. And yeah, we're going to have a lot, I think, of great things to discuss. I'm very, very happy that they're continuing on with what they've been doing. And I absolutely love it. Matter of fact, oh my gosh, I wish I had my phone with me because I'm not going to be able to remember what games it's going to be. Darn it. I left my phone. And I don't feel like getting up there to the battery's dead anyway. What am I talking about? But I got to say this as well. It's starting to feel, and I hate getting this way. I really do, because they always seem to let me down. But it feels like Xbox is kind of getting back to what they were known for. The reason why I'm saying this is because it is this new campaign they just launched, and I'm not going to get it 100% correct, but I believe Xbox is partnering with Fanta. And in this partnership, you'll be able to scan QR codes to actually do this. It's a questionnaire. It's kind of like a quiz. And if you pass the quiz, you actually get points. You win points and things towards specific games to give you certain items. I'm not doing it justice, the way that I'm describing it. But just look up Fanta contests or Fanta QR codes in Xbox, and it should bring up all of the details. That's something we would have seen from Xbox back in like 2007. We're talking about the 360 days. They were doing things like that. And just seeing them doing little things, man, it kind of just gets you a little reminiscent over what Xbox used to be. It really, man, it kind of gets me excited for the future. And I hate to feel this way because Satya Nadella is still in that doggone chair. And as long as he is in there, things are only going to change so much. And we already know what time that brother is on. So that's the part that always snaps me back to reality. But I will say that for what it's worth, I really do like the moves that Xbox is making right now, kind of, giving me that nostalgic kind of feel of what they used to be. Now, again, is that going to materialize into something amazing in the near future? I don't know. I have no idea. Guess we'll just have to stay tuned and wait, and hopefully they knock this show out of the park, and that'll definitely probably get the fan base even more excited. If they got a lot of games coming, a lot of stuff we didn't know about, a lot of different partnerships. I mean, God dog, hold on. Did we talk about that Xbox partner showcase? Man, brothers, man, come on, man. God dog, I thought we would have been done by now. Man, that showcase was solid. When I saw them say that the Expanse, they got the Expanse and the Something to Heaven game, the game I was talking about a week ago or so. Oh my goodness, they got both of those joints in daggone Game Pass. Day and date. Man, I'm telling y'all, brothers and sisters, these jokers are really doing really good work right now. They're doing good work. And they were ranked number 5 in the Metacritic system as far as best publisher. As far as Metacritic scores go, they were ranked number 5. We went over that. Sony was like 13th or 20-something, 21. I think they were 21st. I'm like, God dang. These jokers are, man, listen, I'm not going to say they're on a run, but they kind of semi on a run right now. I mean, it's looking promising, is all I'm saying. I don't want to be delusional, but man, listen, man, I kind of like what they're doing right now. Is all I'm saying. I kind of like what they're doing. I mean, is it going to make me get a Series X? No, as long as your games are coming over to PlayStation, I'm not going to do it. But I can look at it from afar, and I can appreciate what they're doing, already. So we have to see what happens in the future. It's going to be very, very, very interesting nonetheless. But let me go ahead and let's get us pretty much wrapped up here. I think we got 3 more stories to go. Oh my goodness, this is going to mess around and be a 2-hour show. Let me see if I can get us out of here in the next 10 minutes. This next story I got from The Gamer, though. So y'all remember at one point in time, Xbox, they were leaning into the idea of getting into appliances, and they actually did. They had the mini fridge. I'm looking at my mini fridge right here, my Xbox mini fridge. I was able to get the toaster. Shout out to my wife getting me the Xbox toaster. Because, the cool thing about that thing was, too, it had the Xbox logo that would be pretty much burned onto your toast. I love it. It's in my closet right now. But it looks like PlayStation is taking a page out of Xbox's handbook because they have released an Astrobot-themed mini fridge. They got a doggone Astrobot mini darn fridge, man. I said, what? So this was the thing about it. This mini fridge, these are just some of the specs that are on this thing. So it has a 4-liter capacity that you can actually have, what is it? Between, they said 6 to 12 cans. I'm sure that varies depending on if you get the mini cans or the regular size cans. This thing stands at about a little over 20 inches, about 20 inches tall. And it is equipped with the blue LEDs that make Astrobot's eyes light up when the door is closed. Now, the thing is, man, it was dope. Now, again, this is his head. It's not his body. It's just the head of Astrobot. And when I saw those LED lights with the door closed, I said, man, I got to get this, man.
What you talking about, Willis?
I had to get it. I gave in. It was $100. Did I have $100? No, I didn't have it, but I saw it on eBay. I just so happened to start looking around like, okay, this is cool. Because the last time I checked at Target, they had like 5 left. And I'm like, I ain't worried about that, man. Probably go ahead and get it on eBay somewhere. That'd be cool. I went on eBay. No jokers wanted $240. I said, whoa. Hold on. $240? Nah. All right, well, Target might be running out. They got 5 left. Let me go over to Walmart. Shoot, let me see what they talking about. Wasn't at Walmart. Couldn't buy it. I was like, well, wait a minute. Okay, all right, so it's not at Walmart? Man, what about Sam's Club? No, not at Sam's Club. I checked GameStop. I didn't see it at GameStop. I'm like, well, what the world's going on? It is a Target exclusive. Target has an exclusivity deal when it comes to doggone Astrobot and his doggone refrigerator. I said, you got to be kidding me. What did I do? I said, man, darn all this. I went back to Target. It was down to 3 by the time I got back. And I'm talking, it was minutes. It was down to 3. I picked up one, got it for $100, $116. And the thing is, man, I'm probably not even going to open it.
Move this man!
I'm probably not even going to open the doggone thing. I'm just saying, man, y'all know Astrobot, that is my guy. I'm telling y'all, I think Astrobot might be better than Mario. This Joker might be better than doggone Mario. I stand by it.
You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. This is what he does.
Man, listen. Maybe I have, doggone it. Maybe I have. But doggone Astrobot is a dope doggone character. Some people may say that's gaming blasphemy to say that he's a better character than Mario. I get it. Mario is triple O, quadruple OG around here. I get it. He's doggone the Mickey Mouse of gaming. I understand that. But when I'm talking about game to game, and I'm talking about just the controller, man, ain't no doggone comparison. And I loved Super Mario. You know what? I ain't got to defend my doggone self. I'm up here about to talk about how much I like Super Mario. I ain't even going to do all that. I'm standing on it. Astrobot is a better game than doggone Mario Odyssey. Oh, I said it. Yeah.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Oh, God, dog. I don't even care about my opinion. I don't care. Shoot, I said it, and I mean it. I played both of them. I beat Mario Odyssey. Phenomenal game, by the way. Absolutely. But Astrobot just had that flair, man. Had the controller. Oh, man, come on. I ain't got to go through all of this. Man, listen, I would recommend, don't go to eBay. Now, don't go to eBay for this because I'm sure that they will be getting more of these in. Just check Target. This is like the first round of them. I believe it officially released back in February. So this is still early days. Just go ahead and check it, Target. I tried to see if it was a limited item, like if it was a limited run item. It doesn't appear that it's necessarily a limited run item, but because it's only available at Target, that's what's making the price go up. Because if it's one retailer, we all know how this goes. The scarcity is going to be there and all of that stuff. So, again, if you are interested in this, matter of fact, I put this up on my YouTube channel as a short where I went over it a little bit there. So if you want to take a look at it, go online and see it for yourself. It's a really, really dope looking fridge, man. I would definitely recommend if you have an extra $100 laying around and you're a collector of this stuff, I would definitely recommend checking it out for yourself. Well, let me go ahead, though, guys. We're about to hit 2 hours. Let's get into the next story that I got from road2vr.com. Now, this is unfortunate because, unfortunately, this isn't really coming to the home market, per se, but Cyberpunk 2077 is coming to VR. Now, in order to experience this, you will have to go to a zero latency VR location, which operates over 140 locations across 30 countries. I know that for us here in, I'll just say Maryland, not necessarily Baltimore, but our location, we actually have one of these zero latency places, latency VR places, and it is in White Marsh. So if anybody is in the area and you're interested in going to play this when it does release, our closest location is out in White Marsh. But I digress. Let me get on into the story. So this is going to, okay, all right, let me start from here. So for context, this will be a co-op experience where you can team up with several of your friends to explore and take on challenges inside of Night City. So Zero Latency says, and I quote, "It will allow players to physically move together through a shared space, offering a new way to explore the world of Cyberpunk 2077. This will be a self-contained experience, capturing the atmosphere and style of Night City beyond its original screen-based format as seen in the original video game. no release date has been announced for this. Well, I should have said end of quote at the end of video game, but no release date for this has been announced just yet. But for anybody that absolutely loves Cyberpunk 2077, matter of fact, that's on sale inside of the PlayStation Store spring sale. I think I'm going to pick that up too, because that's like $25. I got it on the Xbox, but now I want to really play the definitive version on the PS5. But for anybody that is a big fan of Cyberpunk 2077 and you want to experience this game in VR, definitely look up your closest zero latency VR location. And I'm sure that coming down the pipe, because they just announced this yesterday on the 31st of March, that this was going to be happening. So I'm sure that we'll get more information on this in the upcoming weeks. I doubt it's going to be months, but in the upcoming weeks, we should be seeing something as far as a release date of this. And it actually looks really, really good. It looks just like Night City when you're walking around in a place. And of course, it was showing glimpses of it in the ad. But it does look very, very promising to be able to experience Night City in VR, the way that they were showing it off. It looked like it could be very, very promising. But let's go ahead, though, guys, and let's get into the final story of this week. And I got this story from All Key Shop. So I haven't really been paying attention to Halo Remake so much, mainly because I didn't really see a reason to. I mean, the franchise has been on a decline lately and just hasn't been hitting for me for quite some time. But I will say, when I looked at the All Key Shop article and discovered that they will be including it's going to be 3 brand new missions that take place before the original Halo. 3 of them. 3 prequel missions that include Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson. I can't lie. That really perked my ears up. I said, wait a second, hold on. Y'all are giving 3 prequel missions in this? That is so dope. Now, I don't know how expansive or story-driven these 3 missions are going to be, but that really did it for me. I said, okay, now you got my attention. Now, that wasn't the only thing that got me excited. Because as I kind of delved down into this rabbit hole a little bit, it also was reported that you can now use 9 additional weapons that weren't in the original game, but of course they came later in the franchise, like the energy sword and the the battle rifle. So now you can use all of these weapons in this remake. Now the other things, I was like, God, dog, that is so dope. Now, this doesn't really pertain to me too much, but you also have 4-player co-op online with cross-play between PS5, Xbox Series, and the PC. And if you just want to keep it local in your home, you got 2-player split-screen co-op. Completely, you got that as well. But the other thing that I wanted to say is, you got completely, on top of that, completely redone motion capture cinematics and newly recorded dialogue from, of course, the original Halo voice actor, Steve Downs. So after hearing all of this, we got that game to look forward to this year, something that wasn't even on my radar. And I'm like, dang, that's coming to PlayStation as well. Oh, man.
But wait, it gets worse.
Dang. They got all 3 pillars of Xbox on the darn console, man. It hurts. But I'm going to be there. I think I'm going to be there for this one, though. It looks really, really good. I'm excited for this. It's the little things that Xbox are doing. Of course, I'm giving Xbox a hard time. Of course I am. But, all kidding aside, and all ribbon aside, I really appreciate what these guys are doing. I really do. And my only hope is, I understand that this generation, it's kind of too late. And they lowered the price for certain customers. They were lowering the price of entry to, well, I guess now it's current generation with the Xbox Series X. Half off for some customers. I know that wasn't the norm, but they were offering it for some to get them to come over to the next generation. And I mean, all of that has to count for something. I can't sit up here as a fan of just gaming in general and truly a fan of Xbox at one point in time and not give them credit, a lot of credit for at least trying to get people over onto the platform and showing to a certain degree that they do. I'm not going to say that just yet. I'm not going to say that they, I ain't going to say that they, it's kind of, I'm so conflicted. I'm so conflicted on how I feel. I halfway want to say it's showing that they care about the fan base, but I'm just so guarded when it comes to them because they'll be on a roll for a good while and then they do something to mess it up. But the one good thing is, it is new leadership. Phil Spencer is no longer in the driver's seat. Ms. Sharma is in there. Maybe just maybe something is happening for the better for the brand. Anyway, that is the end of the gaming news this week. And as always, I truly want to thank you guys for being here. Thank y'all. So before we tie this thing up and put a bow on it, always remember, it is not about the consoles. It is about the games. And with that being said, I look forward to seeing you guys on Wednesday with listener feedback. You guys take care. Be safe out there. Bye-bye.